Alright guys, welcome to episode 9. In this episode on the wagon, we plan to complete the undercarriage, sort out the transmission, and get the old B&M shifter inside. So, also, the boys from the office have just handed me the plates. So they're from Vic Road, so at some stage, they're coming off, and I've let the boys in the office name it. So, they, this is a setup, this. Righto, we're going to start off with the shifter now. The box is pretty ordinary, but we found one out the back. It's a B&M Quicksilver. Now it is ADR approved, or your engineer will approve it. I've checked on that. So whatever shifter you fit in your car, make sure your engineer is going to be happy with it. We'll get this one out of the box and let's get it fitted up. Righto, so we've marked the shifter in position. We've set it all up nice and square now. As I said, biggest mistake is with the shifter. Your hand has to come up, so you want your hand to clear the dash. So the hand just clears the dash there. So as far forward as possible, but so your hand still clears the dash. So obviously if someone with a little bit shorter legs than myself hops in it, we still can slide the seat forward, they can still reach the pedals. So it's all marked out. Now I'll drill it, we'll run our captive nuts, which I've got a pile of them down here on the ground. Captive nuts in, we'll bolt it in position, then we'll work out where our cable's going to go through the tunnel. Right, so captive nuts are all in, so all four are there. Now I've cut the insulation away just so when we mount it down it's nice and solid, so it's hard on the floor so it doesn't flex around. We look at how much insulation would have been under there, would add movement in the shifter. Now we want it to be really firm. One little miscue I've had, and there's a miscue every episode, we all know that and we've worked that out by now. I've gone to bolt it up, my bolt's a little bit too big for the hole, so I'll just duck out, quickly drill the holes out, come back, we'll bolt it in. Alright, so we've got the shifter all mounted up, it's run through the floor, it's shifting gears quite nicely, so we've got no issue there, everything's solid, and we know it's safe and it's all good. So next step, mount the cover. Now I've just done a quick trim out of the cover around the outside. Now the reason for that is I've done it so it mounts on the floor nice and flush, so just shape it round. I mean, we have got a bit of an odd shaped floor, a bit of an odd shaped tunnel, so got plenty of leeway, but just to make it look nice and neat, we've hugged it down that way. So that's that bit done. Also, we have to run the light. Now, like I said to you, to pass engineering, two things you need. Got to be eliminated, so we must know which gear we're in, and also we must be able to only start in park and neutral. Now, the park and neutral is on the transmission on this, so we don't need to worry about the switching there. So with the light, what I've done, put a little extension on here. See, I've soldered it down there, run the extension. So what we'll do is we'll get the wire fed up through the floor, sitting in behind the dash. When we finish the wiring off, all we've got to do is just hook ourselves up a little Parker feed there and earth that out. Then the light will come on with our headlights, obviously so we can see at night. So easiest way when you're going under your floor, bit of wire, that's just a bit of floor tongue. Just pop that out, a bit of floor tongue, anything like that. Tape your wire on it, feed it up through the floor. Righto, so the cover's all done, the wiring is in the back of the dash ready to be hooked up to the Parker system. We'll fit the knob on the top of the shifter. Righto, now the last thing we'll do before we put the car up in the air and hook it up to the transmission is check to make sure it's shifting correctly, the indicator. So you'll see the red indicator in here. Now obviously that's going to be eliminated by that globe that we've fitted, but you'll check the little red indicator up there. Alright, so we're all good, because I mean, if that's not shifting correctly, it's not indicating correctly, won't pass engineering, won't pass the roadworthy. Alright, so the car's in the air, the shift is working really well. It's nice and free, it's indicating which gear it is in correctly. So now it's time to hook up to the transmission. So a couple of little handy hints along the way. First thing is lay it all out and find out exactly which is your transmission in your instructions and which part you will need. So bracketry wise, you've got a few different options. So we need to work out what your transmission is. And if we flick through the instructions, gives you all the different options. Now, GM style, here we are here, it shows us the bracket we need, the spaces we need, which way to put them, and what code to run on there. So, bracket for the side of the shifter to mount on for your cable, and the same runner as what's in the image. So, remove what you don't need, lay it out in order, sort out over here your spaces which you are going to run. So around that way, we know which one we're going to bolt into, and it's all laid out now. Next thing is we need to find the path that we're going the cable. Now, very important, which we always do and highly recommend, if you want your shifter cable to last, is insulate it. Now, all we recommend using, it's designed to go near heat, it's heater hose. So what we'll do is we'll measure the length of our cable, we'll cut the heater hose to cover the insulated part of the cable, slice it off, feed it on, then we'll find the new path. Alright, so once the heat coating's on it, or heat shield's on there, find a path where it won't kink. Alright, so now your cable's around where you need it, it's running in the right direction to operate the shifter. Read the instructions, dummy fit everything you can together, put someone in the car, make sure it's changing gears correctly before you cut anything or fully tighten it up. Alright, so we've got it shifting gears, we've made sure everything's correct as per instructions of the B&M shifter there. One little handy hint is replace your bolts there. Your two bolts that go up in there through your pan, they're not going to be quite long enough now when you put a spacer in there, so we'll just swap them over. The other thing is we just got to follow our cable back from our shifter linkage all the way back into our handpiece. Now, just make sure there's no kinks and it's away from the exhaust where possible. Righto, so we've got the transmission shifting gears, everything's really good there. Now, to onto the plumbing side of things, there's a couple of ways around doing this for the trans cooler. Now, we're going to go the budget way because this is a pretty budget build. Now, if it's high performance towing or anything else, you would run a separate cooler, go to dash fittings and upgrade it. But the cheapest and easiest way, it's cost us about $20, is factory lines, which we have here. You'll notice we've cut the end off them. So we've cut the end off that goes to the transmission. Now, if we just pop our head in here, all I've done is they pushed them back into that factory location, rerouted them, so we just bent them. So just using our little brake bending tool there, if you've got something like that, just be careful because they will kink really easy like a brake line. We're pointing them up in the air. We've got 2 meters of hose, a couple of hose clamps, run it forward, zip tie it up and plug it straight into the bottom of the radiator, into the cooler that come in our eBay special radiator. So like I said, high performance car probably wouldn't do it, but for a budget cruiser, it's going to work fine, and it's quick and it's easy. Righto, so the final piece of the puzzle for the transmission is the dipstick. Now, we mentioned in an earlier episode how we had issues with the firewall. So to rectify that, all we've done is after everything's in position, feed the dipstick down the opposite side of the lump in the firewall. So where the wiper motor used to be, down that side, and all we've done is make ourselves a little bracket. So I've used a bit of 25mm wide strap, 5mm thick, and all I've done is drill 2 11mm holes 50mm apart. So if you have a quick look, now it is only rough on our budget build down in the back here. So all we've done is put a nut and bolt through the eyelet on the dipstick tube, and then we've just got ourselves a little bolt in the back of the head, just through a bolt hole that's not used. Righto, so we're getting really close to completion underneath, just waiting on a few parts to turn up. Now while I am waiting, I'm going to put a bit of the heat shield as we've just seen there. Now, whenever I use heat shield on street cars, burnout cars, or anything I do, I only use the DCI Performance products. Now, the reason for that, they're an OE, so original equipment. That's the stuff the big manufacturers use, and it's so easy to manipulate to get in position and works really well. Now, on the back of the sheet here, we have a chart. Now we're going for the TF600. Now if you go for that there, 600 degrees Celsius. Now that's amazing. So the reason why it works so well, it's got the 6 layers in it. Now that's a piece off the other side we've separated. So when you are using it, a little handy hint, now that's roughly bent in position. I'm going to start doing the other side of the fuel tank, is round the edges, once you finish the job, just fold them over on itself, squeeze it super tight, get some pliers or flatten it in the fold or whatever you want to do, and it'll hold its shape really well. But look guys, you don't have to use it in some of these locations, but the way it works, I'm definitely going to put it wherever I can. Right, at the moment we've been waiting for time to unveil the plates. Now, I didn't name the car, but I believe I'm the reason for the name. RIP 186. Alright guys, get the last screw in and that'll be a wrap for this episode. So the underneath is all sorted, transmission's done, it's shifting gears nicely. Now, didn't mean to offend anyone out there with these plates. You know us guys here at the Rod Shop, we like to have a little bit of fun along the way, and we think the plates are very fitting. So like and subscribe below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.